Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to week 5 of the Radical Racing Challenge here from the Hockenheim circuit in Germany. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Austin Knight. Mark Trenter is bringing you the images of this circuit here at Apex Racing TV tonight. And Austin, this should be a pretty fun one. First time we visited this circuit in this series. And it's one where we should see plenty of overtaking, lots of slipstreaming places, along with some technical places as well.
Yeah, Hockenheim Ring, a very exciting track for everybody to pretty much watch all the way. I know racing here is from Skippies all the way up to Formula 3.5. That this track is always very exciting. The long straights, very draft heavy. And these radical cars, I was racing around here when I got back from my vacation, and let me tell you, it is a joy to drive these cars around here. It's a little bit of everything, and it's going to bring the best out of all these drivers.
Got about another 4 minutes of qualifying remaining. The drivers, as always, can set 3 lap times during this qualifying session. And at the moment, it is Aaron Barber at the top of the standings. Hasn't been a great season for Barber, particularly last time out at Sonoma was a disappointing finish for him. But we'll be looking to respond. Josh Cam in a good run of form recently, finishing on the podium in both the previous 2 races with that race win as well last time out at Sonoma. So they're currently at the front of this qualifying session. The second lap times are just coming in. And as always, Austin, you'd expect the times to really improve this second time round. On this second lap, the tyres should be in absolute perfect temperature by the time they get round to the stadium section.
Yeah, after 1 lap, the tires are pretty much primed for a banger of a lap time as long as you don't scrub off a lot of speed. So, yeah, second lap usually is faster. And the first one, and here it is. Purple for Baba. Castells jumps up into second, followed by Kundlis into third place, and Bussin jumps up into fifth.
And Cam also improves crucially up into second position, so that's the improvement we were waiting. Really, everyone gaining about 0.4 of a second. Didn't see any big jumps from too many drivers. Still a few drivers who started their qualifying session fairly late. It's not the longest circuit in the world, this. Giacomelli just getting up to 9th place, and Dalladone down in 13th position. However, Dalladone still with another lap to go, so watch out for the Italian, who I believe is still in the lead of the championship to improve. Kyriakopoulos as well, moving up to 7th. And this man, Scott Lear, still with some improvement to go, but he needs to improve by quite a significant margin to make up any places.
Indeed, and a little fact about Alessandro Dalladone, he is a late qualifier. He actually wasn't at his computer in time to sign up for the race, so he called his dad to sign up for him as he was driving home. So Alessandro thinking on his feet right there and able to get into the race, well, by the hair of his chin.
Yeah, and this second lap time.
His chin, he doesn't have a lot of hair there, but it tells you how close it is.
Yeah, never has the next score been spoken. So Dazzo just with the final sector to go. His qualifying has been underwhelming this season. Actually, his best qualifying was Sonoma last time out. It turned out to be a bit of a curse because it put him right in the firing line when Ante Castles failed to get off the line. Dalladone with nowhere to go, and his race ended very quick. However, this is looking a little bit better. At least wants to be in the top kind of 8 or so, does Dalladone. Always much faster in the race, but he wants to be somewhere in the reckoning. And here he comes to car number 3, and he goes to 6th position, which I think matches his qualifying back at Sonoma. So it's a good effort there from Dalladone. 33.2, only 3.5 of a second off pole.
Yeah, very good lap for Alessandro Dalladone as we're looking at Dylan Freckleton. His first lap was invalidated, so he's looking for a clean banker lap right now to at least get himself farther up the grid than down here.
Yeah, this is really all or nothing here for Freckleton. A driver who I feel like I have driven against. I think maybe in the Corvette C7 Daytona Priest type best car in iRacing. This one is a close second, I will say, but that C7 Daytona Priest type, absolute beauty of a car. I believe Freckleton used to drive that one a few years ago, but he's pretty handy in this car as well.
As well as Formula 3.5.
Aha, well maybe that's where I'm getting him from.
I believe so.
Well, let's see if he can improve it. Visited this circuit in the 3.5 recently. He ran out of time though.
Oh.
That is sad, isn't it? Gosh. Well, maybe that was pole position. I doubt it. But certainly would have been an improvement. He seemed to keep it all on the circuit, so big shame for him. But here is the grid then for this week 5 of the championship. Aaron Bubba on pole ahead of Josh Cam. That's a very fantastic front row of the grid. Then it's Ante Castles, other race winner so far this season. Then it's Tommy Vitsens, Arturas Kundelis, Alessandro Dalladone, Abul Al-Amri in 7th place. Then it's Dennis Kyriakopoulos, Mike Busson, Paul Taylor, could see him up there in 10th place, Claudio Giacomelli, Adam Watson on his debut, I believe, Eric Hanoi, Scott Callahan, Scott Lear, Justin Quinn, Stephen Place, Dylan Freckleton, Johannes Hesteman, Vladimir Ponomarenko, and Sergio Branda. Austin, I'm expecting the tow to be more powerful than the turbulent air tonight. Would you agree with that, or do you think it could swing the other way?
With the long straights, and I've got to say the tow is definitely going to be there, but Sector 3, that turbulent air is going to be affecting them. So it's the best of both worlds, but I think the tow is going to be a little bit more beneficial than the dirty air. So we're going to be expecting a very tight and a very competitive race. What is going to be tricky is this race down into Turn 1. Hockenheim Ring, Turn 1, Apex has that massive bump. Don't want to go a bit wide there. You'll get it off track, but I'm expecting a few of the cars starting on the outside of the track to go a bit wide. We're going to find out very soon.
Here we go. Watch out for the slowdowns heading into turn 2. 5 lights are on. Barber versus Cam. And the green flag is out here at Hockenheim.
Oh,
There's already a big
chaos.
crash for the fact that's going to take out 4 or 5 cars, I think. But Bubba with a really good line. And now we've got 3 wide heading into turn 1. The 2 pure sim racing drivers nearly colliding with one another. But it was Castles who were able to get ahead. Poor start for Josh Cam. Daladone is trying to take advantage of this as well. Down the inside, nearly contact as he almost heads into Josh Cam right there. The number 4 on Vitsen's having to run a little bit wide as well just to get through. But it's a fantastic start for Bubba as Watson is now off the circuit in his debut. He was running up in the top 10. Vitsens is now feeling the pressure from behind because he's falling down the order. Daladone trying to take advantage and now he's going to try to get past Kundalis as well. This could be an excellent start for the Italian. Really no defence into the very wide turn 6 hairpin. And Daladone does just nip up the inside. He'll be delighted with that one.
Alessandro Daladone challenging everybody off the start. Very crazy start for Josh Cam and Ant Castles as they almost made contact. I believe Josh Cam might have clipped the curb on the apex and almost came across the track into his teammate, and that led into a massive 3 wide right there, and that led to Alessandro Daladone setting it up to the inside of Cadelis. As looking down the field, a lot of cars have gone around or at least spun it, as these cold tires are very, very challenging for grip. Big set into the arena section. Around the outside is Dylan Freckleton in that 13, still side by side in the S section. And Freckleton is going to pull it off right there.
Well, I had to get gutsy there. Not too many places gained by Freckleton on circuit, but with all the incidents that we're seeing, he's up into 12th place, which is 6 places further up. He actually just got past Ponomarenko. He was up at 8 places up until that move. A little bit of a track extending, which you were anticipating on the first lap, Austin, or even happening on lap 2 here, as we might have a change. That's Buisson going for an ambitious move. Complex is fairly generous there in leaving himself room, but this is such a long parabolic curve. It's called parabolic, it's called turn 5. And with the big braking area you got at the end of the straight, there is really no defense whatsoever.
As somebody that we are looking at a big braking area, Alessandro Daladone, he likes making moves around here, but there's big moves happening back here. That is Freckleton almost being sent on by Ponomarenko, as ahead of him, Callaghan and Buisson are side by side. That's Kurtopopoulos, actually.
I don't know how we haven't had more incidents so far. These guys racing within an inch of one another. Lockups left, right and centre. Some ambitious moves, and this is another one from Freckleton. Actually to make up a move on the last lap around this place. He's understeered a lot, and you know what, Callaghan did an amazing job to avoid that one, especially considering that these guys are based on the other side of the world. There's more contact, there's contact again. And Freckleton, just as he did on the last lap, goes around the outside at Sachs curve and he gains another place. But wow, how is that casted in one piece? He's really got his elbows out early on.
Freckleton and Callaghan bumping together, bumping a big at all. Sector 3 here at Hockenheim Arena. This looks like more of a Euro NASCAR series than the Radical Challenge right now. But these two drivers very aggressive, and none of them are wanting to give an inch right here. But very clean ish racing. Both these drivers able to stay in contention with each other, and well, as well getting a little bit of extracurricular activities with the elbows. But hey, what are you going to do?
Well, as long as they're both still in the race, I'll be fairly happy with how this has gone. Vitsen's now against Abukir Al-Amri. Also see Abel back on Apex Racing TV. Took part in many races back in the day, so you can see him trying this Radical SR8. However, car number 14 not able to get past Bits. I'm surprised that Amri's that far down, honestly. Only car number 14 is Ponomarenko is the next driver who's trying to get past Callaghan. Callaghan's really chopped off on the back of Freckleton. He's only overtaken at this point.
He actually dived into that corner right there, made contact, big contact with the 18, and 18 looking a little bit he's looking a little bit feisty. I don't think he really enjoyed that move because Callaghan actually lost the position into the hairpin. And here's what happened at the start at the back of the field. I think 2 drivers just lost control. Oh, the 17 didn't go out of the line. The 17 stalled it.
Giacomelli did not put his foot down. Well, it's the same thing as we saw with Castles last week, isn't it? Where he didn't get away. And once that happens, I mean, what are you meant to do? That is very disappointing.
Yeah, I've seen this happen a few times when cars just don't go on. Sometimes drivers are just used to rolling starts, and unfortunately for them, if you hop into a series just for fun, like the Radical Challenge, it's a fixed setup, so you don't have to spend a lot of time tweaking the setup. You just spend a lot of time memorizing the track. And you already know the track. You're going to hop in here, and if you're used to another series like IMSA, you kind of don't put the foot down immediately when you see the lights. So I think he might have thought this was a formation lap and had that happen, or was AFK. And if you're AFK at the grid, I'm not sure. Looking at the background, there's a spinner right there. At the hairpin as everyone is going onto the drag strip for a little bit.
Yeah, what's it? Pickleton has kept his position, but I think he's lost a bit of time there. I think he's outbig himself. Yeah.
Yep. I've done that so many times. New fastest lap for Josh Cam, a 1:32.600, sitting in third place and just slightly behind Castles, right ahead of him. And Baba unable to pull out a big gap, leading this field by 1.3 seconds.
I've speculated about the championship so far. I have actually got the points in front of me. Donny on 66 points, Cam on 61. Then you got Castles on 47. Bittens has been very consistent with 46, and Barber is on 43. Also Condes with 43. Lots of championship contenders in this season, as Buisson is past. That was a good move, and then you can see the attempted move from Taylor, from Kyrikopoulos, sorry, just behind, but that was very mistimed, honestly. He was never really going to get past there. Ponomarenko has had a problem. Yeah, he's had a collision at the hairpin soon.
Yeah, that's a spin. It looks like a little bit of contact, so it might have been affected. Looking down to the inside, Ponomarenko, and it's not a send right there. Oh, he's hit the bump off the exit, put the power down, too much mustard, and around goes Ponomarenko.
Yeah, that was kind of what I thought Kyrikopoulos was going to do. Kyrikopoulos took even more curve, but he was just a bit more delicate on the throttle. I've got a couple of great trains at the moment. This one is behind Castles. Well, wouldn't it make sense, Austin, to swap these cars around? I mean, no disrespect to Antwerp. Usually it's Josh with the slight pace advantage. Of course, and Win at Bathurst would maybe disagree with me on that one, but allowing Barber to get away, they may as well, change it up just to try.
Well, unfortunately, we do not have team radios right here, but Cam does have the faster lap. He has closed in on Castles, and he does have a big advantage right there. So if I was a part of a pit box right now, I would say Castles Cam is faster than you, and there it is. No, it's not. It's just a little mistake from Castles. Goes a bit wide. Cam look down to the inside. Alessandro Daldane got a little bit feisty right there, as the teammates almost having a little bit of a instant right there. Wide goes Castles. So Cam trying to sneak past right here, but it's unfortunately not going to happen. And we are 1, 2, 3, throw a blanket over these cars right now because they are so close to them. And this fight for, second place is really looking enticing for a certain Alessandro Daldane.
Going to go on for Taylor further down, by the way. So he's dropped out of out of contention for a bit, but I mean, this could be changed any moment. Is that the change? No, Castles is making a bunch of mistakes right now. And Cam must be getting this. This will be a 34, will it? That's a personal best apparently for Castles, so he must have picked up 1x as every other lap, because that was a rubbish lap from Castles. His own run wide at turn 6, and a couple of other places as well he was messing up. So I imagine these guys are pushing the instance quite a bit, because that was a green lap apparently for him. So it's been his first clean lap for a while. Cam is a little bit closer this time. Oh, I think he's going to happen this time, Austin.
Cam's looking and he's hunting and he's looking down to the inside. Side by side, they're going into the hairpin. Cam getting a lot of room to his teammate. Alessandro going very wide to avoid any fireworks. And there's a brake check middle of the apex. And Castles lets by Cam. And Alessandro Dalladone, thinking on his feet, jumps up into third place. So there's the move.
Dalladone super strong on the brakes as well, heading into turn 8 into the Mercedes grandstand section. So he might have placed a pass Cam here, which he'd be delighted about, with allowing to extend his championship lead. Callahan is now the top placed Australian driver, 3 of them out here tonight as we see the replay from Dalladone. And yeah, he had to be quick on his feet here, Austin, because there was a big slide just there by Castles and had to use all the steering lock on the car and still got a very good exit.
Yeah, Dalladone, he had an extremely wide berth, so I think he was already looking to go onto the outside to the inside. And oh, big wiggle right there. And oh no, contact! Callahan gets into Kirkopoulos as Kirkopoulos kicked out the back end right there. And right in front of Callahan, Callahan had an amazing run, just unfortunately carrying too much speed and into the back of Kirkopoulos.
Well, again, these cars, well, these drivers are very lucky tonight. It could have easily been down to 10 drivers at this point, but Kirkopoulos just continuing on his way. These cars are so brittle, and yet they avoided any significant damage there. Look at the move from Castles. Has he done anything with Dalladone there? Not quite. Shows how aware Dalladone's got to be of the cars behind. This battle going from 6th position down to, or 2nd position down to 6th. Amri just a little bit detached. You can see him in the background there. By the way, quick shout out to SDK Gaming, provider of our overlay for this series. You can see the time tell displays so much information for you viewers, and it really is some invaluable software that we use. Also fantastic for live timing. Use it up in the commentary box, and also great as a heads-up display as well. So do check out sdk-gaming.co.uk to get yourself a 14-day free trial. I feel like this one, something's got to break this chain, honestly. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be.
Well, it's looking like it's Josh Cam and Alessandro Dalladone. They have the pace at the front of it, but Josh Cam really has the pace right now and is pulling away from Alessandro Dalladone, and Castles is losing ground to Dalladone as well. I feel like it's just going to be a little bit of attrition of these tires and a lot of just consistent laps, and somebody might make a mistake here, and you just got to avoid some of these curves. Like the curve on the very apex of the hairpin, like we saw Ant Castles hit. But Candelas is right behind him, and Candelas, I don't believe Candelas is going to go for a move right here. And yeah, Castles defending onto the inside. Candelas looking onto the outside, looking for a switchback right here. Getting a little bit of a wiggle off the exit. And it's nose to tail from 2nd all the way to 6th.
So much different the racing is this season with the new draft effects. Really, Dalladone only made up, seemingly to me at least, was about a 10th and a half from turn 4 to turn 6, which is crazy light. You would have been able to make up an entire 6/10 from the distance he was back last season, but that much more tricky to make moves this season. It does make each overtake that you can pull off so much more significant in your race. Watson has caught up to Hesterman, so Hesterman somehow managed to get through all of that earlier on. I don't quite know how. He seemed to be right in the epicenter from the crash that we saw in the first lap, but I guess he was just about able to get past us.
I think Hesterman didn't get the best start off the line. I also think Hesterman had a little bit of a slide going into turn 3 off the line. But Hesterman did escape all that chaos as Watson is all over the place, getting a big slide out of the final quarter, trying to chase down the number 15 of Hesterman. And here comes Hesterman, looking down to the inside. It's a good opportunity right here, side by side. Hesterman is not going to fight that one that hard, but Watson up into 12th, and Callahan's slow. Callahan just had a spin right there, and here comes Watson once more. 2 corners, 2 positions. Adam Watson, but don't count out Hesteman right now. Hesteman looking on to the outside. If you want to be a fight to the break zone, and Watson gets turned around by Callahan.
Well, Callahan base down under. I'd like to put that one down to netcode. But I don't think that was netcode there. He just misjudged it. Maybe wanting to get those positions back straight away. And, well, here's how it happened then for Callahan. So this is on the back of Freckleton. And he's already a bit offline. He's tightened up the turn 4. And then just had to put that bit more stress on the tyres. A bit more demand on the car to get it round the corner. And he spun it round. So shame there for Callahan. And of course, well, he managed to get back those places. To be fair, he's back up into 11th, but probably with a bit of a guilty conscience.
It wasn't much of going around. It was more of I'm about to go around, so I'm going to lock it up right here. And here's the replay of Wilton's. What's happening here? Ooh, that's a late break. That's a panic break if I've ever seen one.
Oh, lovely.
Might have had a little bit of contact right there, but Tommy Whitman's very late on the brakes, got out of the line and down onto the inside, and that is a beautiful move. Even if it wasn't intentional for him.
I mean, call the police, because that was a mugging. I love moves like that. Completely caught him unawares. This could get pretty violent as well, because Castles is getting back past Daladoni. Daladoni is super on the brakes into turn 8 late, and they're going to remain alongside. Now Daladoni can't go too wide here, otherwise he'll pick up a slowdown, and now there's a slight tap between the 2 of them, gets on the curb, and he's lost all of his good work. Condennis might get up 2 places here in a single corner. Well, he might just have to settle for 1. Certainly, Wittens is able to get past, and Daladoni will be infuriated by that one. But good effort there from Castles, who was putting the pressure on Daladoni, and eventually he managed to retake that position that he lost a few laps ago.
Side by side into that corner, nobody at the wrong. It was just an unfortunate place, unfortunate time. That right-handed kink, it's very tight and tricky to get around, and Daladoni gained him space, falls down to 5th place now as Wittens is trying to get past the Commentary Squadra Corsa driver, as Alessandro is trying to get past Wittens and get back up to that podium space. As, well, Wittens, I think he's really enjoying this track right now, and he might have a chance to look in on 3rd on Castles, as Castles seems to get back into his groove.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome opportunity. Castles does have a bit of a draft on Cam up ahead. You can see that gap coming down, but it's much stronger for the kind of four. Daladoni's going to go for the move. There's some movement under braking from all of them, and round with Castles. Get it stopped. It's almost a very similar instance to what he had earlier on when he lost 3rd position, and it's happened again now. Was that a hit, or did he just lose it by himself? But it's Cam now in places before, and Cam made a mistake, I think, as well, because Daladoni is way closer than he was before.
Cam has some damage on the back end, and there's more chaos in the hairpin down in the lower field, as I think that was Watson who went around. But yeah, that. I am not sure what is actually happening right there. I know Alessandro went down to the inside of Wittens, as Wittens wanted to go down to the inside, and well, Wittens had to get onto the brakes right there and had no really anywhere to go, and might have had a little bit of contact. Might have had a little bit of contact with Castles, but we're definitely going to have to go on to a replay for that, because that is a big point of contention.
Yeah, and what on earth happened to Cam as well? Because has he got damage on the back of his car unless it happened?
He's already had
on the previous lap. Yeah, he was very slow down the straights with Cam. Look at that, Castles even almost went into it back.
Oh, he's
so I think it was kind of the pressure, I think, for Castles. He was looking behind him, he was looking in front of him, didn't want to take his teammate out. And then also it's a very tricky corner that he's struggled with throughout the race. And all that culminated into him just losing.
Daladoni, I can't bang it into the braking zone. Daladoni trying to hold it around to the outside. And Cam and Daladoni making contact. Daladoni trying to go for the switchback. Cam holding it around to the outside. This is absolutely nutty racing here for 2nd place. Daladoni looking down to the inside. Now it's going to be on to the outside right here into the Mercedes grandstand. I can tell you all the virtual fans right here are standing on the edge of their seats. A little bit of bump pushes Daladoni wide. Cam keeps it into 2nd place. Condentless jumps up into 3rd. with 2 laps to go here at Hockenheim Ring.
Oh, Cam is going to have to drive the couple of laps of his life if he's going to keep these paces, because he's so hopeless down the straight. I mean, you can see it there. Does only got a worse exit from turn 3, and yet by the time they got to 8, he was pretty much level with him with no slipstream. So this is going to be very tricky for him. But through the corners, Cam is still strong. Now that was a bit wide. You can pick up a slowdown if you run wide over those last 2 corners, but I think this time he's got away with it. I will just, by the way, give a shout out as well to Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring this broadcast and this series. 29 data packs providing for road and rallycross as well. Setups, tutorials from some of the best drivers in all of iRacing. Do check out Apex Racing Academy to improve your iRacing performance. So we've got this close battle, but I think we're going to have to focus the cameras on the Cam Candelas battle, because that could be very close by the end. By the time we get into the hairpin, because look how close Candelas is. He's half the gap already. He's going to be within firing range, but he didn't quite pull the trigger, and Alessandro Dalladone is going to try to take advantage of it if Candelas isn't going to go.
Alessandro Dalladone showing some Italian passion right there going into the braking zone. He is furious and wants to get into the podium spots at least, and Cam is under pressure. Cam is putting off a lot of drag off of that car with that rear end damage, so we might have a little bit of old school radicals happening right now. Yes, I believe Candelas is getting a lot of that slipstream here as they head into the arena, famous for well, some very pivotal moments in motorsports, especially with a certain German driver doing a little slidey bits. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Aaron Baba, who is still in the race, by the way, just 7 seconds ahead of all the chaos behind him.
It's been one of the races of the season, this. Some pretty good ones. Grand Touch maybe just takes the mantle, I think, this season, although Bathurst was very good, but this is really up there, despite it not being for the lead. It has really enthralled us throughout. By the way, Al Amri was able to get past Castles on that last lap, so he's up into 6th position. Could get tight between those 2 drivers, but this is where, if Candelas is going to get 2nd position in this race, he's got to get past. But it's not a good exit this time, and he's probably going to have to defend from Dalladone. To the inside goes Cam. Dalladone is just going to try and put his car wherever Candelas doesn't, but he can't quite get past. Candelas just squeezed him in time, but Candelas has got an excellent exit here. It wasn't good enough for Cam, and he will be at least alongside by the time they head into the Mercedes grandstand section. He's on the outside. What can Dalladone do just behind? He's going to put his car up the inside. This is really compromising Candelas, really helping Cam, who is able to sprint away from the 2 of them now. Candelas holding off the inside. Now it's Bittens who's trying to take advantage, but it is all the same throughout. Al Amri as well managed to keep behind Castles. Just a few more corners remaining for these Charles Dalladone. He's still having to pull some defensive maneuvers on Bittens, who's going to go around the outside access curve. We've seen this move a couple of times from Freckleton so far. I think he might be able to pull this one off. He's onto the grass. Can he get it stopped? He just about does, us out in the lead. It is a race win for Aaron Baba for, I believe, the first time this season, and he really does bring himself back into championship contention. Dalladone was able to beat Bittens, Cam beats Candelas, and Al Amri beats Castles. Buisson as well, and Freckleton was super close near the end. Freckleton managed to gain a couple of hundredths on that last lap, but it wasn't enough. And then Baba does some donuts out at turn 1. It's is his first race win of the season. And well, surprised it took him so long, honestly, there, Austin. We know he's such a strong driver, and he really showed that tonight.
It was an extremely strong drive for Baba. Going on to that final lap, though, Josh Camp had a very good run to get up in the stay in second place. Top 2 having a very great race, but Baba just unearthly dominance here at Hockenheim Ring. Last lap, I don't think Alessandro Dalladone would want that replayed a bit, but I think Wittens is not happy after that contact coming out of the bank turn in the arena. It's a very tight piece of track, and there was a big shot to the side to Wittens, so I think Wittens might not be the best friend to Alessandro Dalladone. after a fantastic race for second place. And man.
It was seriously good. Maybe I'm drawing parallels, but a little bit similar to 3.5s. I felt that was properly good pack racing. Tricky to overtake, but no, the drivers really did put on a fantastic show. Bubba then, with the race win, 8.1 seconds clear of Josh Cam. He just about beat Artur's Condes. Great drive from Cam. I don't know where he got that damage from, but you could see it on board with Condes on the last lap. It was hideous on the back of his car. And so the fact that he was so strong through the corners really is a testament to his pace around this place, and means 3 podiums in 3 races. Alessandro Daldone finishes in 4th position. Ahead of Tommy Vitsens, who had that off check. I'm sure those two won't be friends either after the race. Abel Al-Amri was only a 10th off at the end of Vitsens, very close between those two. Then it was Ant Castles, who had damage, but of course was ending up in 2nd place for most of the race. Then it was Mike Busson, Dylan Freckleton, and Dennis Kyriakopoulos rounding out the top 10. Behind that was Scott Callahan, Justin Quinn, Johannes Hesterman, Scott Lear, Vladimir Voldemir Ponomarenko. Sergey Branda was in 16th, then it was Adam Watson. Stephen Place was 2 laps down, and then Eric Hanoi, Paul Taylor, and Claudio Giacomelli all did not finish. Giacomelli not getting off the line at the start, and it really ruined many of the drivers who started around 15th position. Final shout out to Virtual Racing School as well, who offer over 50 data packs for both road and oval racing cars. Those data packs include setups, track guides, data analysis software, and one-on-one coaching. Virtual Racing School are some of the best coaches in the world as well, and their telemetry as well is absolutely fundamental in order to improve your on-track performance. Really identifies how you can improve on your lap times. And so, yes, would certainly recommend signing up to Virtual Racing School to get a few more tenths of a second out of yourself. Also, of course, Pablo Lopez does the tuition in this Radical SR8 car. There's no setups for this Radical, it's a fixed setup series. This, however, some of the tips that Pablo can share to you can be really great. You can get a one-on-one coaching session with him, which I'm sure would be able to identify some of the areas which you can improve. Interviews now with a few of the drivers. We've got one of our colleagues at Apex Racing TV. He's sitting in the interview waiting out. Don't think we can have a chat with him, but we've got another one of our colleagues who was in the race tonight, and that is Mr. Alessandro Daldone, who joins us now in the commentary box. Alessandro, congratulations. A 4th position out there tonight, but well, that one got pretty feisty. That was some intense racing.
Yeah, it was a hard but clean racing, let's say. Depends on your point of view, but I don't mind this battle. Sometimes you give, sometimes you take, and I guess in the end I got pushed wide once, and unfortunately for Tommy there, he got pushed wide by me on the last lap. It wasn't my intention, because if I had a 4X I was gonna get a penalty too, to be fair, but I washed wide, and unfortunately it was there.
Talk us through your predicament before the race started, because we hear that you needed some assistance to even get in the session.
Yeah, I come from work quite late, so usually I manage to go back to my rig 10-15 minutes earlier than the start, but today was not the case. So yeah, I asked my dad living in the apartment downstairs if he could come up and put my computer and possibly sign me up if I couldn't make it. And yeah, I got here like 1 minute before qualifying, and I'm totally happy to finish 4th. I just wanted to finish this time, possibly not on lap 1. And indeed, I finished 4th. I'm a bit sad because I could have got P2, but you can't have everything in life, I guess. So I settled for P4, considering the situation.
Is there anything you look back on those last 2 laps that you wish you'd done a little bit differently?
I should have been more aggressive, and if you know me, all of you know me, I'm always aggressive. I don't know why I didn't try to pass Josh after I bumped him on lap 11 or 10, something like that. The next lap I wanted to pass him, but I said no, because maybe he will be not happy about it and push me wide, and indeed he did later. But in the end, that was my race over for P2. But you can't always have everything. So I'm happy for P4. It's an improvement considering where I finished last week.
I feel like all the series are now visiting Mosport totally by coincidence. That's the round for next time out. I always say about Mosport, it's almost impossible to overtake. It feels like you should be able to overtake, but in this Radical SR8, I imagine it's going to be particularly tricky.
Well, you have just one straight where you can make a pass, then apart from that, I don't think we have any passing opportunity with this car, because I bet that the downing section will be flat out essentially. It's just a little bit of throttle to let the car roll down the hill, and apart from that, you can't really find any place to pass. So it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully there's people racing, because it's a not so popular track, so we will not see a lot of people within the week, but I'm sure that all the regulars will be there at least for the broadcast race.
Yeah, we look forward to that one. Congratulations on your results tonight. Alessandro, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to you guys, as usual. Then a big shout out to my dad, allowed me to race and get my 4th place today. To my big Chevy, because I pushed it to the limit to get home in time. And to my boss, because he allowed me to go, even though my job was not finished. So thanks, boss.
Excellent. Well, very pleased that you were able to take the good tonight, Sanjay, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Sure. Cheers, guys.
Sanjay Dalladone there, your 4th place finisher. Austin, I think we've got another interviewee waiting.
Yeah, we do. It's with our race winner of Aaron Baba, who, well, it is definitely the race winner by a long shot. Probably the easiest race win he's ever got here. First one of the season. Aaron, how was that race? And, were you even realizing that you were in a race after, I guess, lap 3?
Hey, guys. I didn't expect it, actually, because I know the track a little bit, but I haven't raced here before. So this week I just had some races with my second account, and all of them I got killed. I don't know, because I wanted to start from the back just to explore the track and everything. But yeah, I found the pace. I know now how the track works, so I was actually surprised that I had more pace than the other guys. But considering, I think they were fighting a lot, so that gave me the chance to run away with the first place.
Yeah, it was a very powerful start you had. A little bit of worrisome here at Hockenheim Ring. I know a few people get a little bit of anxiety off the line on, if I get a bad start, is somebody going to send it up the inside? Were you having a little bit of those thoughts heading into turn 1, or did you just take it like you usually do?
Yeah, man, you know how many starts I ruined on the broadcast races, just trying to think, because I don't have a double clutch. I just start with my clutch, with a normal clutch, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. But I managed to find the sweet spot now, so I thought, okay, I will just start and then we'll see. But unfortunately, Josh, he had a slow start, so that allowed me to just run away from the first lap. But yeah, it can be tricky. The start can be really tricky sometimes in this car. So yeah,
next round is Mosport. Are we expected to see another dominant performance from you, or are we going to be seeing more of a barroom brawl over there?
I actually like Mosport track, because I had to run it with a Radical in a 6-hour race with an open setup, so I have a lot of laps on that track. But so Bathurst last week was the same for me before Sonoma, because I didn't do Sonoma, and Bathurst was one of my favorite tracks. I had the track, the lap record in race, the only one to do 57s, but still I ruined the quali, and then some guy hit me. So anything can happen, but sometimes, as you can see now, Hockenheim, new track, I win. Bathurst, other tracks that I know very well, everything can happen in the race, and it's not always your mistake, but I will do my best, like every time, and we will see what will happen. But I like the track. It's a short technical track, especially with I don't know the name of the corner, when you need to brake really hard and then on the right, and then need to have a good exit before the straight. So that will be really important. But I know the track. Hockenheim, I never race, so with a few practice laps, I think it will be fine.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, you guys, first of all, and then all the guys on the grid. It's a shame that I don't see Kane anymore on the track. Manu, I was hoping these guys would show up today, but I hope they will show up next week. So shout out to them and to everybody in the Radical community.
All right, thank you, Aaron. We'll hope to see you again next week. Congrats on the win, and it's over to Sam with some closing words.
See you guys.
Yes, that pretty much rounds out the interviews for this evening. But yeah, next time out, Austin, Mossbot. Yeah, to race, I don't think that's going to be fantastic fun next time out. But to drive around in these cars, I imagine that circuit must be an absolute ball.
Yeah, Mosport is a fantastic circuit to race around, and well, to race around, it's going to be a lot of nose-to-tail action. But Mosport is a lot of fun to drive around on your own. I've done a few laps around there back in the day, and I can tell you, these drivers are going to have a lot of fun around there, and it's going to be a very exciting time here on Apex Racing TV for another round of the Radical Racing Challenge.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.